It was long accepted in Cutter Gap that dreams are revelations of things to come and of our innermost desires. As a teacher, I had always disregarded such ideas as mere superstition. But then I was continually surprised by how many of my ideas proved to be wrong.
Reckon somebody left it. That's not nice. Sure ain't. Babies need their mama's loving. What if this here baby's mama had to leave it? Like baby Moses. And that Pharaoh fella was wanting to kill him. I wish we could keep it. I think we should sell it. It ain't right selling no baby. We could trade it. Bring in a fine coon. Teacher will know what to do. We can't be telling nobody on account of danger. There ain't nobody after this youngin', Sam Houston. You don't know that creed?
Good morning.
Teacher's coming. We gotta hide the baby, for whoever's after it hurts Miss Christy, too.
The Great Smokies. When I left my city home to be a school teacher at a backwoods mission, I dreamed of adventure. I wasn't ready for the real challenges of life in these mountains. I'd have given up, if not for the children. I came to Cutter Gap to teach, but they show me every day that I'm here to learn.
Today we are going to talk about all the different kinds of governments there are.
Teacher, may I be excused? I gotta go real bad.
Of course, Lulu. Now, who can tell me what it's called when a nation is ruled by representatives of the people? A republic. That's right. Just like here in the United States.
Miss Christy?
Yes?
I gotta go too. I'm feeling awful poorly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hurry back. Sam Houston? What do you know about the governments of other countries?
They don't like babies much over Egypt way.
Where did you get an idea like that? Of course they like babies.
Not old Pharaoh. He didn't like baby Moses none. Preacher told us how Moses' mama set the poor little baby down the River Nile in a basket.
But Pharaoh's daughter, a right good woman, found baby Moses.
Teacher, can I use the privy? I think I got the creeping crud.
What is going on here? Well, you two certainly recovered quickly.
Miss Christy!
Where did this baby come from?
From the Almighty, teacher.
It's just like in the Bible. Isn't she a miracle?
I thought I'd been dreaming of a baby crying in the night. But now I knew it was real.
All right, children. Everybody back in school.
But preacher, the Lord gave us that thar baby.
And now you take it away. No arguments. Your lessons are waiting. First one in their seat can help with communion on Sunday.
She seems fit enough. Miss Christy, this child's been taken care of.
By who? Do you know anyone with a newborn girl?
None comes to mind. But there are folks on this mountain that don't mix with nobody.
But she is so beautiful. How could anyone leave her like that, alone in the cold in the middle of the night? What is it?
This child has a mark.
It's only a birthmark.
They call it a devil's mark. By Satan's own hand, some say.
It is skin pigmentation, that's all. It doesn't mean anything.
I know that. But there are them who won't let go of the old ways.
Do you think someone would abandon a baby because of it?
It's happened. Either from a mark like this, or a family has too many mouths to feed, or... I even heard of one ornery old man who wouldn't abide no girl young'uns.
That is the most barbaric thing I have ever heard. Fairlight, what if the children hadn't found her? What if a wild animal had gotten her first?
Now, don't you fret. This here baby is in good hands now. And she will be until you and Miss Alice and the preacher can think on what to do with her.
Recess!
Let's go.
So upsetting, baby. I just keep wondering if she belonged to any family I know.
There are a lot of people you haven't met yet. We'll see if Alice has any ideas when she returns from Low Gap.
The baby's in fair condition, considering all she's been through. She's a bit colicky, though. She's going to require a lot of attention.
I'll do it. I mean, I'd be happy to watch her.
And why does that not surprise me?
Oh, David, would you mind taking over for my lessons for the day? Again?
I'm always happy to help.
Well, I'm also available if it's science or mathematics you need.
I covered those this morning.
Actually, it's physical education. I've been teaching the importance of exercise to good health.
Well, who better to teach exercise than a physician who's also a sportsman? Girls and boys! Miss Huddleston has asked me to talk to you today about exercise. Now, it's very important for growing young boys and girls like yourself. It makes you strong, and it keeps your mind clear. Now, in my opinion, the best form of exercise is through competitive sport. Not only is it fun, it's filled with the traditions and values of our great heritage.
I agree. And as we all know, the best sport of all is none other than good old baseball.
Baseball.
We already know that game, preacher.
There's always room for improvement, Sam Houston.
Mr. Grantland, I'm surprised. I didn't know you liked baseball.
It's all I did growing up. My mother sent these from home. I've been saving them as a surprise for the children.
Baseball, it's no better than cricket.
It's the perfect combination of individual skill and team unity, Doctor. And all of it played in the fresh air and sunshine.
And cricket is for blue-blooded sissies.
Which is why we Americans declared our independence so that we could invent baseball.
Well, I think Thomas Jefferson may have had an argument with that.
Last year, I saw an Appalachian League game in Johnson City that was absolutely amazing. The Johnson City Soldiers crossed bats with the Knoxville Pioneers. Hyder Barr pitched a shutout for 8 innings, and Davy Taylor hit 3 home runs.
Interesting.
It was the best rookie play I've ever seen, since the Gats and Gadflies joined the Southeastern League.
It's a pity Thomas Jefferson couldn't have been around to see that.
Go ahead, Doctor. Wallow in your sarcasm. Doesn't affect me at all. I'll have you know I was batting champion of Seminary League.
Oh,
so we can hit a wee bowl with a stick, can we? That's not all there is to it, Doctor.
Opal, I didn't hear you.
I heard about the newfound baby. I thought to bring over some fresh goat's milk to help out.
I'm sure the people at the mission will appreciate it. Shh, it's all right. Well, I got chores to do, and Jeb and the young'uns will be expecting their supper soon.
They're like... I wanted to ask if think it'd be all right for me to have a look at her. I wouldn't be no bother.
Well, I think it's best to wait. Why, Miss Christy ain't even used to having a baby around yet.
I know what you're doing, Fairlight. You don't need to fret on me.
The day I don't fret about my own baby sister is the day they put me in the ground. I know how my heart ached when I lost my 2 babies. Opal, I don't want you to have no more sadness than you already have.
There's nothing sad about a newborn gal.
Ain't you treasure, Mrs. McComb?
That she is, Ruby May.
Would you like to hold her?
No.
Miss Alice! Dan!
Greetings, Miss Huddleston from Logan.
Quite an experience. I saw some fascinating
You will
cases.
never guess what happened today. The children found a baby. She was abandoned, but Dr. McNeil said she'll be fine, and...
Christy?
Wait! Wait, don't be afraid.
Christy, are you all right? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Opal. How thoughtful of you to watch the baby. Where's Ruby May?
She went off to Bessie Coburn, something about her schooling.
Well, thank you. I'll take over from here. The thought of that innocent baby being left alone with Opal McCone put a knot in my stomach that wouldn't go away. One of my earliest introductions to Cut a Gap had been the tragic death of her daughter. A death caused by Opal herself. She had tried to cure a non-existent condition known as liver growth with an often fatal folk remedy by bending the baby's head to touch her feet. It was an experience that continued to keep me awake at night.
Very convincing, Miss Holston.
What?
Your charade in there. Pretending nothing was wrong.
Nothing was.
I know you. Now look me in the eye and tell me nothing's bothering you.
I know it's not fair, but I cannot bring myself to trust Opal with the baby.
She's a good woman, Christy.
Oh, I'm not questioning that.
Then you also know she'd never do anything to harm this child.
No, not intentionally. David, I like Opal. I consider her a friend. But it is impossible to forget that her ignorance killed her own child. I will always remember what it was like to help at that funeral. Always.
Here you go, here you go. Okay, when you swing, you come through evenly. Some of you may have to choke up. You can also bunt. But whatever you do, don't foul off or it's a strike. Find a hole and send it there. A line drive if possible. Okay. 3 strikes, you're out. 4 balls is a walk, unless you get a beanball, which is also a walk. Any questions?
I have a question. What in the blazes are you talking about?
The finer points of the game, Doctor. Try and keep up. Everybody in the field! Miss Alice! Nice catch.
Thank you, Reverend.
Where did you learn to do that?
Contrary to popular belief, I did enjoy something of a life before coming to cut a gap. I used to play pretty fair third base, if I do say so myself.
I could sure use your help getting the game across to them.
Oh, another time, perhaps. Miss Huddleston and I are leaving to search for this baby's family.
We are?
That's a good idea. When Reverend Grantland is finished with this pointless baseball enterprise, I will teach the children some real games.
What kind of a crack is that?
Anyone can play baseball, even a woman. No offense.
I suppose your cherished Highland games are something special.
As a matter of fact, they are.
Hurry, Miss Huddleston, or I fear you will be umpiring more in a game of baseball.
I'm surprised we're doing this. I thought there were no young women near term.
I thought so as well until I telephoned to El Pano. And Ben Pentland shared the gossip of a girl in Sand Mountain, unmarried. He says her people turned her out when she started to show.
She could be the girl I saw.
Or one of countless others like her. This poor beast has something in her shoe.
Do you really think there could be more than one local girl near term?
I know from personal experience the story's all too common. Wherever she may be, I understand her plight. Few people can comprehend having a child in these circumstances.
Would you like my help?
I could use a stick, help dig out this pebble.
I'll look for one. Don't be afraid. Wait, come back. Please stop.
He has nothing to fear from us, young woman.
We only want to help you. So, why did you leave your baby at the mission?
I couldn't do nothing else. I got no husband. I can't be keeping no baby.
Surely thee and thy baby's father can find a way.
He's gone. Family cleared out when they heard what he'd done. My folks don't want no part of the baby. They kicked me out when they saw I was carrying a child.
Time heals wounds. Maybe they'll change their minds.
Not them, or having the mark and all. What I done's the only way. It's best my girl get a proper home.
They cannot hold that against their grandchild.
They say I turn my back on the Lord. They won't abide no bastard child. I'm heading to the city and starting over. Folks say factories pay $1 a week.
Miss Barnett, you must know that God is helping you. He brought you to our mission. Not to lead thy baby, but to find a solution.
You don't understand.
I understand more than you realize.
Sarah, your baby needs you, and you need her. Please do the right thing.
But I thought it all out.
You can stay at the mission as long as you need.
I'd have to get my things from the cabin I've been using.
Good. Then we'll expect you for dinner.
All right.
Your mother does love you. I'm sure of that. But sometimes people do things because they think they have to, even though it's wrong. But she was right about one thing. She knew I'd take care of you. And now that you're here, you won't have a care in the world.
When I was a lad, growing up here in the Cove, I was just like you. But when I went to live and study in Scotland, it changed my life forever. I received a very good education, and I became a physician. But it was more than that. Does anyone know why?
You come back talking like that?
Not exactly. Living in Scotland stirred up the Highlander traditions in my blood. The same blood that flows in each and every one of you. Now, it doesn't matter whether you live in Scotland or Cuttergap or the North Pole. Our heritage makes us what we are today. Now, Reverend Grantland has talked at length about baseball. And I'm here today wearing my grandfather's kilt because I'm going to teach you some games with real tradition and purpose. Highland games. Games of strength and determination. Games born in glorious times past, when men knew the true meaning of sport. To see who was equal to the challenge. To win the victor's trophy. And the young lady's heart.
Can't no gals be playing them Holland games?
Of course they can, Lulu. Traditions were meant to be shaped by those who honor them. And so I say, let the games begin. No. Lower. Down here. Walk them together. Get lower. Lock the fingers. Up there, lads. Go. Whoa. Here we go. Who's next? Come on, next one in. Go, Reverend.
Isn't that little girl swimming with us? Quack, 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 quack.
Good morning, Miss Huddleston.
Oh, good morning, Miss Alice. Isn't it strange? I have always had trouble getting out of bed in the mornings, but ever since the baby arrived, I can hardly wait for the day to begin. Isn't she just the most precious thing you've ever seen?
Babies are a blessing.
She's just perfect. Her little hands, her little feet, her smile. I swear she understands me when I talk to her.
She understands love.
I wish I could give her a name. Emma. She looks like an Emma to me. Emma Barnett.
Naming her will be the privilege of her new family, Christy.
But aren't we her family now? We're caring for her. She seems very happy with us.
You mean thee is happy with her?
Of course I am. I think we should keep her here and raise her at the mission, Miss Alice.
I do not think that would be wise.
But we have so much to offer her. A safe, loving environment, spiritual instruction. She would be the true fulfillment of our mission. And besides, it would just be so much fun to have a baby around. For all of us. Though I would do all the work. I would feed her and change her. I would take full responsibility.
You're not taking in a stray cat. You're speaking about a human being. Are you prepared for motherhood?
Were you?
I was not. Nor did I have a choice in the matter. There is a great deal more to being a parent than meets the eye. Now, we will seek a good family for her. But if none can be found here, we will certainly find one through the Christian orphanage at Knoxville.
You all done? Are you sure?
Yeah. You didn't eat very much. Don't be shy, David. Come join us.
she wonderful?
Look who she has to learn from. You know what I think? I think we have the makings of a real family.
Miss Alice, we have to talk. I don't want you to call the orphanage.
There may not be an alternative.
There will be if someone adopts her. And I think I know a young couple who might be interested. David and me.
What do you mean?
I am reconsidering his proposal.
Sarah Barnett's baby. Set you thinking about marriage?
I've been thinking about it ever since he asked me. It has been on my mind constantly. And now, with the baby in my life, I am seeing everything more clearly than before.
Is that a fact?
I believe she may be a sign from God.
I've always had difficulty reading the Lord's mind. I hope you have better luck.
Over the next few days, my argument with Miss Alice troubled me. And so did the baby. She was fitful. She wouldn't eat. And then, suddenly, her breathing sounded wrong, as if she was gasping for air.
Miss Christy, what's wrong? The baby can't breathe. Where's Miss Alice?
Oh, she ain't back from Sand Creek yet.
Ask Mr. Grantland to go get Dr. McNeil and see if you can find Aunt Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all right. Stop crying.
Stop crying.
Fine. You're fine.
Morning, Miss Christy. I thought to bring over more goat's milk.
Thank you, but I don't think the baby is interested in food right now.
Oh, this child's burning up.
I know. I have sent for the doctor.
She ain't breathing right. Her lungs is filling. Looks like the croup.
What are you doing?
We got to gather up some onions and fry them real hot for poultice.
I appreciate your concern, but Dr. McNeil will be here any second.
Oh, he ain't home. He passed our place heading over to El Pano
Then
today.
Dan Scott will know what to do. Please, let go of me.
I know what to do, Miss Christy.
I'm sorry, Opal, but I will not allow you to touch this child.
I don't care what you think of me. And I'm not fit to be nursing no child. But I got to help this one, and you can't stop me.
Opal, please, no. No, listen to me.
If we don't make that poultice right now, this baby might die.
Mrs. McComb, seems the worst is over. She's breathing fine.
You mean the onions worked?
Mm-hmm. Croup had the baby's lungs full of fluid, but the poultices Mrs. McCone applied did the trick. Forced the airways right open.
Seem awfully sure of yourself.
It's because I am.
Let's dispose her back. Based on what Reverend Granlund has told me, your assessment seems correct. However, you didn't learn this in any books I gave you.
Well, we don't see many doctors back home at the settlement, but I did have occasion to learn from some very wise and experienced mothers.
We're all grateful for what you did, Opal. Thank you.
I just couldn't let the child go on suffering like she was.
You did the right thing, Opal. I couldn't have prescribed better myself.
Teacher, where's the baby at?
She's inside taking a nap.
We're glad she got better.
Yes, we're all very grateful.
We talked it over. It's time that girl got herself a name. We wrote some out.
Let me see that. Iris, Lily, Rose. Black-eyed Susan.
That last one's a joke. We were thinking on how we found her, so little and pretty on the ground, like a little flower.
Well, these are lovely names. I'll be sure to tell Miss Alice about them.
Here she comes.
What's gotten into them?
They've submitted some names to us for the baby.
I met Dr. McNeil on the road. He told me what happened last night.
I never want to go through anything like that again.
This world is a curious place. On one hand, things are changing all the time. Automobiles, flying machines. Did they know they've completed a paved road coast to coast? The Lincoln Highway. Imagine that. On the other hand, some things never change. Like a mother worrying after her child, contending with emergency upon emergency.
And waiting for them to happen. I keep checking to make sure she's still breathing.
Christy, what if Opal McCone hadn't been here?
The baby would have died. I was so frightened, Miss Alice.
I'm sure you would.
I didn't know what to do. She made this terrible sound when she was breathing. It was like nothing I'd ever heard before.
Christy, you mustn't pretend anymore. It's nice to play house, but there's a real child here, a human being.
But I love her.
Sometimes love isn't enough. As much as we may want life to be otherwise. Despite our best intentions, we find that our efforts have fallen short. And our choices are gone. I visited Sarah's parents in the hope that I might convince them to open their hearts. But they will neither forgive their daughter's mistake nor accept her baby.
But that is just one possibility. Surely a family in the Cove will adopt her.
Most of our neighbors are barely getting by. They have too many children as it is.
Miss Alice, no.
And her birthmark, that's an obstacle that some folks will never overlook. The time has come to contact the orphanage in Knoxville.
We cannot send her to someone else.
It's the right thing to do.
I was awake all night worrying about the baby and praying. I kept hoping that Sarah's parents would somehow have a change of heart, or that Sarah would come back. But the hours passed, and no answers came. My heart ached as I began to lose hope. Then the next day, something miraculous happened. An idea came to me like a gift.
Morning, Tom.
Well, Miss Christy. Opal ain't here. She's off picking blackberries.
It ain't her we come to talk to.
If it's about them words between you and Opal, that's twixt the both of you.
It's not about that, Tom. Opal was a big help to me at the mission. I could not have managed the baby without her.
Now, she don't mind. The little gal is all she talks about.
Then you've noticed the change in her, haven't you, Tom?
Oh, I surely do, Fairlight. I never thought I'd see that spark in her eyes again. Once our newborn, you know, passed on. Well, you know.
That spark is something very special. I know that now. It's the love only a real mother can feel.
And that is why we've come to talk. Opal. Good news. Miss Christy's found a family for the baby.
That's good, Miss Christy. Then she'll be leaving us.
Not exactly.
What are you waiting for, Tom? Spit it out.
I said that we'd take her.
But Tom, we can't.
We already did.
Congratulations, Mrs. McComb.
The mission can help out with practical considerations, food and what have they.
And you can have the clothes my girls have outgrown.
Oh, Tom. I don't know if I can say what's in my heart.
You don't have to say anything. I was wrong to doubt you, Opal. I hope you can forgive me.
Miss Christy, you weren't doing nothing but what you thought was best. I'd be beholden if you'd stand as her godmother.
I would be honored.
School children have been coming up with some names. I like the sound of Iris McComb, if you do.
We'd best take our seats. I have a shining new soul to baptize.
Daniel?
I've got an awful lot of work to do at my cabin, Miss Anderson.
Thee is welcome at this house of worship. I hope they know that.
I know that you and the Reverend Grantland feel that way. I'm not so sure about the rest of the congregation. Besides, I'd hate for anything to get in the way of the McCombs' day. Wouldn't you?
As you wish.
Miss Huddleston, it seems to me that you've given up everything to be here. And it hardly seems fair that you should have to keep on giving.
Something happens after you've lived here a while. The blessings become so much greater than the sacrifices. You'll see. Well, I guess this is goodbye. You like your new family? Tom and Opal are nice people. So are your new brothers. I love you so much.
Miss Huddleston, for you.
Thank you.
That was a kind thing you did for Oak.
Here you are, Christy.
Oh, David, that's sweet, but Dr. McNeil already got me one.
Surprised to see you at our service, even if you did watch from the porch.
Well, I was just checking in on my new patient. I'll take that if you don't mind.
Well, working on a Sunday, you must be busy. You probably have more patients to see.
She was my last one.
Really? Well, as long as you're here, we never did finish our sporting competition. One, two,
Miss Alice was right. Some things never change.
three.
So it was with the rivalry between Dr. McNeil and David. There were times they acted more like boys in my classroom than like the men in my life. Eventually, I would understand what that meant.